welcome to the Chaffee Art Center. It's all about the arts. I'm Sherri, the director, and this is Luigi, the greeter, and Stephanie Wilson, my good friend and long time co-host.
Partner in crime.
And partner in crime, yes, back in the day. So we have a lot of new things happening, Steph.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah. I always get so excited when those emails come in and starting to scroll through all your offerings. And if only there were time to do every single thing you're interested in, but it's always fun to at least pick out a couple, right?
Yes.
If everybody did that, this place would be packed.
It would be packed. And that's why we try to do different things, right? Because as we said, it's all about the arts. And the arts can be, we were talking about cooking just before we started.
Right.
Gardening, we have beautiful gardens here, which we could use some volunteers to help with.
Hint.
Yes, hint. And we have classes and things like that. But the more, I try to find things that might appeal to different people. Just once you come into the Chaffee, you realize what we have, but until you come in, you don't always kind of get the vibe or the what we're about.
Right, and I was just talking to my daughter who is 9, and she's actually pretty good in her art classes. I was not, and I had the kind of art teacher that really made you feel kind of bad if you just didn't have that certain ability. And I wasn't great at drawing. I wasn't great at sculpting.
Then you get self-conscious.
And then you think, I'm not good at art, or I don't like art even, which is not true at all. I completely appreciate it, and I think of myself as an artistic person, but not in that way. But there's still so much to appreciate about it, and then there's also things here to try that have nothing to do with the kinds of arts that many of us think of.
Do a straight line or...
Absolutely.
I
couldn't do any of that. Perspective. Oh, that's coming up this year for my daughter, and I was terrible at perspective. Still am. So, it's just...
but you're right.
It can be intimidating.
It can be intimidating, and that's what we hope that people just come in and experience it, and then they're going to know that it's very relaxed, and there's, like you were saying, there's things you can do, like a new thing that we started, I think we've done 3 classes of pour painting. And pour painting, you're putting paint in a cup and that you layer it and then you're pouring it and then you're manipulating it with different things. It can be an old credit card. You can blow, with a straw. So you can do things like that, or you could do watercolor if you want to, experience that, or acrylic.
I've come in and done at Christmas time, say, card making and cookie decorating with my daughter. I'm like, I can do that. And if those things get you through the door, then you realize all the other possibilities there are.
Right, you're not as shy, I think, about trying something else, because it's kind of it's a safe space.
It totally is. I always thought that was kind of a silly expression, but I get it when I come here, because I'm not intimidated by a subject that used to intimidate me. When I come in here, I feel very comfortable. My whole family comes in here. We love coming in for different things.
I remember her daughter Catherine, when Catherine first started coming here. And she was very hard on herself. I mean, she probably still is hard on herself, but I don't see it as much.
Yeah.
Here.
You're right. I don't see it as much when she comes here either, because I think she realizes she's not being judged.
Right.
It's not
and
a
it's
competition.
Fun. You want to have fun.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we do have just so people know, we do have this make and take that we're doing on Saturdays for young people, because people have asked us to bring back things on Saturdays. You do have to pre-register, because if we don't have enough, we don't necessarily hold the classes, but we have, kids watercolor painting, we have acrylic painting. I mean, there's lots for the kids, and I'm going to be adding more now that we don't have our camps. And thank you to everyone that took camps. We did 13 camps this summer, had a lot of young people go through the doors, and it was really, really fun. Exhausting, but fun.
Yeah, it was fun. You come in here and it's just kind of loud, filled with the energy of children and bustling about, and
we had these little art shows.
Yes, absolutely.
At the end of each session, because we usually do one in the morning and one in the afternoon, so people can either put them together or just have them do 3 hours instead of a whole day.
Right.
So at end of each week, they would do like a half hour, 15-minute art show of what they did for the week. So they would prepare it and get it ready, and how to showcase, show their work.
And in my daughter's case, it was a play.
It was a
because
play!
they had done theater. So
that was really fun because I had not seen any of it. You know, I'm down here, and Marissa Valent, she instructed that one. She was the instructor.
She was wonderful.
Yes, so I'm in one of the rooms looking over, and all of a sudden the kids are coming in and out, and they're trying to change costumes. So I was the costume changer. So I was like, oh. So I helped them with their costumes, and it was just so cute. I had one little girl. She went running out, and she wasn't supposed to be out there. She comes running back in, and she has her head in her hands, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I wasn't supposed to be out there." It was
it's all part of the learning process.
Funny, I know.
And they were all so sweet to one another. And supportive. And
yeah, it was really cute.
Yeah, I feel like the Chaffee really attracts some great kids and parents too. Just some families that they get it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I agree.
They get
I was getting that comment
all
from
about the arts,
instructors.
but it's also all about the kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's for them.
Yeah.
You know, there's no other agenda attached.
Right.
It's just learning and having fun together, supporting each other.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
giving parents in the summer also a little bit of a breather during the day, you know, or an ability to work.
And it exposes them to a different type of, you know, a venue. Like, we're different than a lot of places they might go to. We're not a school. And sometimes that's what was funny, is the perception sometimes. We're not a school. We're an art center. So it's much different than when you're taking something from a school.
Right.
So so hopefully, you know, that's a good experience. But
when Catherine had her birthday party here, you remember, we brought so many parents in who had never stepped foot in the doors. And the first reaction, I don't know if you remember this, was kind of like it was hush. And everyone's walking around, nobody's touching anything, and they barely dare to look at anything. And we were just like, look around. And you were saying, let them run. And it was kind of funny. And all the parents were like, really?
Yeah.
You know, but I think it just gave a whole other audience, like, hey, we can just come through the doors and enjoy what's there. And
I remember we do a student show every year in the spring, and I thought, let's do a chocolate fountain. And people were like, you're going to do it.
Fountain in an art gallery?
Yeah, that's what they were saying, right? And I'm thinking, okay, well, it's just chocolate. It wipes off. They're not going to go up and go like that on a painting. I mean,
right.
You know,
most people know not to do that, right?
And even children, they can't reach. So, but yes, I agree. And we were just talking about Marissa Valent.
Yes.
And she is also going to be the director. She's giving her time to us because this is a fundraiser for the Chaffee. We're doing a cabaret event. It's going to be a cabaret and silent art auction. It'll be November 11th. And, you know, we're still kind of working on all the things, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for it. So just, you know, keep your eyes and ears. Those that sing, we're doing it. I'm trying to remember what we actually decided on. It was like, because we haven't had our meeting yet. It was supposed to be yesterday. But anyway, it's going to be like the magic of art. So it'll be like, so people would pick theme, like the music, get what I'm saying, would kind of relate to that. But more information will be coming on that. We have actually a lot of things coming up. So currently, we have an exhibit, because we do it every 4 to 6 weeks. Right now it's Art in the Garden, Color Me Happy. So what we have in here are, you know, garden themed rooms. We have, you know, different things in each one because it's kind of fun for me. That's my creative side. It's fun for me to create them. So I have to have some fun too. So in the gallery we're in, we have wonderful fairy houses, and then art related to the gardens. And then in another gallery we have, again, art, and then we have Jim Boughton, who's behind the camera.
Oh,
He did these wonderful tree houses. He did these one out of recycled materials, right, Jim?
So good.
And they're so cool because they're out of like box board. If you picture what box board is, like cereal boxes or things like that are box board. So think about that. That's what he's making them out of, and
they're whimsical.
Yeah,
and
the
they're
rocks,
intricate.
The rocks look like they're rocks, but they're like out of foam. Like
and you look at them and you think, oh, look at those materials. Almost anyone could do it, and then you're like,
nope.
No, no, you cannot. So no, I could not do that. And I wouldn't have the patience either.
And they're whimsical. Like one of them, I mean, one of them is really, really whimsical. And I look at it and it reminds me of Dr. Seuss.
Right out of Dr. Seuss. Yes.
Yeah. And Catherine came in here today. We're talking about Catherine a lot today, but she's in here, that's why. But she came in today, she goes, these two are my favorites. Like everybody kind of, So anyway, so that's in the second gallery. So in the third gallery, we have a special gallery celebrating a longtime artist member, Arlene O'Connor, and her art is beautiful. You walked right up to one and said, ooh, I hadn't seen that one before. It's beautiful.
And sometimes you'll have things on the walls even from before, and I will have walked by them so many times, and then I'll notice
different light or different place,
or something different's around it, so then it draws my attention. But you're right. When I saw Arlene's, I
very
just walked
warm.
right to something.
Her pieces are very warm, like so, and like I said, flowers and landscapes and things like that. And then in that room too, we have this beautiful donated, huge fish koi. What do you call it? Koi bowl, right? Fish bowl, and it's blue and white. And Heather Wilson, another artist who has a gallery upstairs, a solo gallery upstairs, she did this really fun kind of fairy lights and flowers going up to the ceiling with vines, and it's really cool too. And gosh, we have lots and lots of beautiful garden themed art. And then we have some other ones, too, that we have some bugs. I'm looking at a spider right now behind Jim. It's on the wall,
Jim,
not real.
Scared him.
And then upstairs, like I said, upstairs we have things that may not be garden related. A lot of them are, but we have a solo gallery by Heather. She does a lot of kind of figure drawing, and she incorporates that into her work, and it's about her journey through a divorce. So it's very meaningful. Mm-hmm. A lot of people were touched by it, or are touched by it when they see it. And then when you're here, we have a gallery shop that's filled with affordable. I was just saying to these two before we started that I just want more people to know that we have things here. If you think, oh, I want to go buy a card, come to the Chaffee. Our cards are like $2.50, $3, $5 tops. If you want a small gift, I mean, we have things from $5 up to $5,000. I mean, but there's a lot in the gallery shop that's...
Yes, and these gift-giving occasions are coming up fast.
Aren't they?
And then there's always the birthdays, anniversaries.
Right. I have...
birthday parties
my
kids go to.
Yeah, my son's girlfriend's birthday. I'm like, I'm shopping at the Chaffee.
Absolutely.
They live in Florida, so I'll just mail
cards, that's such a good point. Mm-hmm. We were in... I don't know if I can even say it, but we were at Target recently and picking out a birthday gift, and I was just so disappointed with all the cards, and they were so expensive for what they were.
Right.
But wouldn't I much rather have something handmade from people around here, and that's so much more meaningful, right?
And it's sometimes really cool too, because if you like a painting, but you can't maybe budget that one, some of the cards are the paintings, just smaller.
But so it's something you love, and you can't quite spring for what's on the wall, so it's your own little piece of it that you can take home. Yeah, I love that.
And I've just redecorated. I did it on Monday. I love redecorating, but I just did the gallery shop, and so come in. We've gotten some new things. We have bags and hats and pottery and jewelry, and
I'm going to go look paintings. When we're done today. I'm going to go check it out myself.
We have paintings, but we have all kinds of things, and there's my point. I do talk a lot, I know. So the other thing I wanted to mention is the gardens. So we have over a dozen gardens on the property. This is a historic property. We've tried to make the outside as beautiful as the inside. We have a 100-foot pollinator garden, and then we have a lot of flower gardens. The garden club, as we always say, does a magical job. They do such a great job on the front 4 gardens, and then
people have to come now while there's like hydrangeas as big, blooms as big as your head. Seriously, I mean, these are amazing.
Seriously,
people have to come now in that late summer
Yeah.
early fall
Yeah.
kind of garden.
Agreed. And the
Beautiful.
pollinator garden, I mean, there's a lot of blooms, and I'm telling you, I'm so excited because the bees out there, holy moly. Like, I don't see as many butterflies. I did see one the other day, and it feels really special when you get to see a butterfly but I see a lot of bees. So I guess we're doing our job.
Yeah, the other day I was sitting on my porch and what is it, the flight of the bumblebee or something? They're like, and I'm thinking, I'm glad I have a screened porch right now next to this hydrangea. But I also felt like, hey, there's so many bees here right now. That's a good thing.
Right, because there was such a, well, I mean, I'm sure there's still issues, but there was such a problem.
Yes, there are still issues. But if we all just do a little part, I think we talked about this last time, little things we can do,
Right.
and things the Chaffee is doing to support the environment, support the bees and the pollinators. That's a wonderful thing.
And we have a Vermont Bee Lab drop-off site here. So if beekeepers want to have their, a bee or bees looked at by the Vermont Bee Lab, you can, we have little containers here because you put them in alcohol, or I don't want to say the wrong thing, I think it's windshield washer fluid. And, you write your information and then they'll come here and pick it up and then test it and tell you the results of the test. So, so we're, a pretty new site. It's been a month-ish.
Can you explain that? Does that mean if there's a bee that has died and you
So
want to know why?
Sometimes sometimes the hive has some problems and they test for,
So this is a dead bee
diseases.
that you're putting in
You're putting a dead bee.
Okay.
You're putting a dead bee in the jar, in the
Yeah.
little plastic thing with the thing. Yeah, it's not a whole bunch of bees. But I know, I thought that at first too, because I was like, okay, do I want a bee drop-off station? But it's, yes. So it's, so that then they can find out.
Tell you about your hive health or what's going on, and that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because there's some diseases, that can, and I don't know them off the top of my head, but if you go on our website, we do have information there about all of that.
Right, and there are things that can wipe out an entire set of hives, so that's really good to know what's going on.
Yes, yes.
That's really neat.
Yeah. And, we do tours. We want people to come. So remember that. We have an artist talk coming up September 13th. We had one, Sidel Gansel.
How did that go?
Oh my gosh.
It sounded like it was going to be a scene.
Oh my gosh.
A really interesting talk.
We had between 35 and 40 people.
Wow.
And people
That's great.
Loved it. I mean, they kept afterwards. Because I didn't, you don't know how people are going to receive things. And Sidel is very funny and she knows a lot. Like, one of the things that's very interesting when you're doing it too is like it's her friend she's talking about. She does not, these people have been, they've been dead for a really long time. like the last one, one of his posters was from 1891, so you can figure out that was a long time ago. So this time it's going to be on Edgar Degas, and it should be really, because I of course I get to read about them and learn things. So I was reading a little bit about it, and I think it's going to be, she gives you tidbits that you wouldn't know by reading, and like. This is like, okay, so let's say there's a poster or a painting. She'll tell you who's in it, which really makes it really relatable because, you think, oh, there's just people, like these, oh, there's a can girl, which was the last one, and she tells you who's in it, like it's there, like I said, like it's her friends. Like she goes, oh yeah, and that's so and so, and that's so and so, and so and so, and then she tells you tidbits about so and so. So it's very, it's very entertaining, but it's also a great learning. Talk as well. So that's on the 13th at 6. There'll be late refreshments. We usually do like donation if you can, kind of thing. Okay. Art in the Park. Gotta mention that it's coming, because that's coming up the 7th and 8th of October. Oh, I can't believe.
I feel like it was just there.
I know.
And the weather was nice.
That
weekend.
Yeah,
it was nice
we actually,
to be there.
Yeah. We had a really good show. Had a wonderful comments. Thank you for everyone that came. We are starting to look at volunteers, so if anybody wants to get a jump on it, please call us or email us.
It's always the nicest people at the gates too.
And I have to tell you something. You're going to want to come because this is Anne McFerrin's last Art in the Park.
Oh, she's always one of the first things you see when you walk in.
And it's not
art.
because she's unwell. It's because, you know, she has family help her each time, and, you know, it's just getting to the point, I think, where it's getting harder for the family because it's been a lot of years. She's done it probably almost the whole time that we've had Art in the Park. This is our 62nd year. And you know who else is doing it that I think this is her last show? Edith Hiller. Now, Edith has done it for a lot of years too, but not the same. Anne's been here like year after year. Edith, you know, has been here throughout, like for a long time. And she, you know, she's going to be moving and things like that at some point. And so she said to me, she's doing it, but this is her last one too. So you're going to want to, you know, come support those people and see, you know, wish them well and that kind of thing.
I have kind of a funny little personal Art in the Park story this time.
You do?
Yes.
I got hair, sorry.
I was, you know, there's a potter that my husband and I bought a bowl for my mother's birthday last year.
Okay.
And
Is he on the walkway?
Yes, and every Dave.
Yep.
And every time we are there, my mom's house for dinner, she puts the bowl out that we bought for her, and she puts salad or something in it, and it's gorgeous. And every time I'm looking at it, I'm dropping hints to my husband.
I want one of those.
That, you know, now that we bought one for a gift, I sure would like one if a gift-giving occasion comes around for me, right? So I dragged him back to the booth this year and realized that the guy who's selling the pots is our next door horse neighbor. Like, our horse is bored next to, and we got to know him these last few months, and I really like him and his wife. And I'm like, this is our horse neighbor, and you're the one who makes the pots that I love so much. And, you know, so of course, and then my mother-in-law bought me a little syrup pitcher too while we were there. So it was just so neat to you realize all your connections, you know. And you can't go to Art in the Park without just realizing those kinds of connections. Like, these are my neighbors, you know what I mean? These are people we know.
His little boy is not little anymore. It's been coming for a long time, and it's so great watching these kids grow up, because then they start being my helpers. They came and they were taking Luigi for walks, and it's just so cute, you know. I love it. Okay, so we're going to be talking. Okay, so we also are going to have our annual holiday gift show, and that'll be November 3rd and 4th. It'll be a Friday evening and a Saturday. I just want to get the word out there, because people who do gift shows want to know about them. So we'll have all that information on the website too. It's a great time for the unique, affordable gift ideas, to treat yourself or someone else.
Yeah.
And it's free admission. We usually have a hot beverage bar. People who, like I said, want to have a space, contact us. Our gingerbread showcase, I want to give you dates on that too. It's on our website under our events and exhibits, but the theme, this is the theme for the year, I think. The theme is Holiday Magic.
Oh. And
the entries are due December 6th and 7th. Okay, so mark your calendars. The entries are due the 6th and 7th, and we'll have an open house on the 9th.
I love that open house.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I'm hoping, but we got some planning, but I'm hoping we'll do something where we'll make some gingerbread too, because that was last year we did that, and it was really a lot of fun. There was a ton of people. And Karen Worcester, she did that, and she was so great. But it was like, whoa, out the door there were people. So, but it'd be fun to do this. Yeah, I have some special things planned. So I just don't want to give it all up right now. And don't forget about renting the place. Like you've got Christmas parties coming up. You have somebody just inquired about a bridal shower. Birthdays, as we were just talking about, we have packages and themes, weddings, anniversaries,
corporate retreats.
Wouldn't
this be a beautiful place?
You could go into multiple rooms and have
breakout
your food.
Rooms and just comfy places for people to. Yes, it would be perfect for something like that.
And stay tuned for game nights. We're gonna have game nights, board game nights. I'm working with a person who had a business here, but he's had all these wonderful games, and the games will be related to, art, all about the arts. Like, could be fiber, it could be, painting. Like all these different ones it's really cool. I'd never heard of them before. So that'll be really fun as well. So we have a lot of things happening.
So many things to put on the calendar.
I know.
And I oftentimes, I'll be usually jogged by when you send out an email, and then I will often just go to the website or social media or something
and just check, see a little bit more detail.
Yes.
Yeah, because we do things on our website that might be fun to, look at if you haven't. We do a featured artist. This month it's Mary Fran Lloyd. We did Arlene not long ago, Arlene O'Connor. I mean, there you can look at all the past ones as well and learn a little bit about the artist, which is really fun. And we also, tell things like we've got this wonderful article done by the Rutland Herald for us about this show. We're so thankful that they came and did that. Janelle Fagnan was the writer, and Janelle's a past board member, and she's just a great person, and she writes wonderful articles. We're so lucky when she is, able to do them.
Absolutely.
Did I forget anything? I know we're winding down. Just trying to think of everything that we've talked about. So don't forget, Artist Talk on September 13th. It's at 6 o'clock. Come in and see our garden exhibit, our Art in the Garden, Color Me Happy, and check out our gallery shop and our gardens. Art in the Parks, October 7th and 8th. We need some volunteers.
Right around the corner.
And we're still accepting applications. I've gotten so many people, I have 9 on my desk, I think, recent ones. So we've got room.
Wonderful.
And then, like I said, the cabaret and things like that are in November. So check out our website.
Yes, there's so many things to be planning for, thinking about, and also just the usual adult and kids classes that happen regularly throughout every single month.
And hopefully
keep up with
everybody's
those.
having a great, like the teacher here, a great, she teaches a great back to school time. I know it's kind of getting into that rhythm again.
Yes,
Yes.
It's hard to get
As a
into
parent
the rhythm.
and
Yes.
a professor at Castleton. So yes, I do know that. So thank you for joining us and visiting this
fun.
We love it when Jim Boughton comes here for PEG TV.
Thank you, Jim.
And to try to let you see a little bit about the Chaffee, and hope to see you soon.